podcast party to slay a dragon.
In Level Up A5E, the initiative is based on a wisdom perception check.
Belton got an 18.
Ooh, Violet got a 6.
Ariadne got a 4.
Maliboo got a 7.
It makes sense because I did just run down the stairs when I heard it coming, so I wouldn't have a very good initiative.
Yeah, Maliboo, you lock eyes with this massive insectoid creature as it launches itself out of the fireplace towards you. It does have the first move, and it lashes at you with that mass of tentacles protruding from its face. It has climbed vertically up the fireplace from the lower level. Part of its body is still in the fireplace and down the chimney chute. That is a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah, that easily hit.
You will take 6 poison damage, Maliboo, and you must make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 20.
You feel a tingling numbness spread over your arms where the tentacles lashed you, Maliboo, and a momentary loss of feeling, but it quickly fades. It lets loose another high-pitched inhuman shriek. Its maw opens and fangs launch towards you, Maliboo.
But before it does that first attack, that was a physical attack, right?
It was, yeah, it lashed you with its tentacles.
I'm going to use a maneuver called Primal Intercept. When a creature makes a melee attack against me, I can use my reaction to make a melee attack against it. So after that first attack, I'm just going to try to smash him in the head with my Morningstar. That's a 16.
A 16 does hit.
He's going to take 7 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And fire is going to run down my arm, and he's going to take an additional 6 fire damage from my fiery armaments.
Okay, so that's pretty impressive. 13 damage total. It screeches in pain as the top of its carapace blackens as your flaming Morningstar smashes into it. At the same time, it launches its gaping, toothy mouth at your arm. A 17 to hit, Maliboo.
My armor class is 18.
Okay,
Ooh,
you
nice.
jerk your arm out of the way. There are razor sharp teeth that close where your arm was an instant before, and it continues to snake up out of the fireplace. Its tail is still somewhere down there below in the darkness, but most of its body is now in the room. Belton, it is your turn.
Can I see its eyes?
You sure can. Its head is like larger than Belton's head.
Oh, wow. Okay. Belton gulps and sort of takes a deep breath for 2 seconds and goes, "Ah!" And then he just runs, pulling out the dwarven dagger. And in a psycho stab fashion, will use a maneuver of his own called Eye Slash, which is I rapidly lash out in a strike against an opponent's brow. In this case, I guess it would be this giant bug's, whatever the hell it's got on there, leaving a wound that obscures their vision. So I make a melee weapon attack against this creature that relies, hopefully, on its eyes for sight. And if I hit, I will get sneak attack and I will get that Eye Slash as well. So that's a 19 to hit.
19 certainly hits.
8 piercing damage. And here comes the sneak attack. That's an additional 7, so a total of 15 piercing damage.
Wow.
And I'll have to make a Constitution save.
Okay, it got a 20.
Oh, okay, well, I guess that it was an attempt to try to blind it, but I guess I did not get it directly in the eye. No good for the blind there.
You slash it above one of its multifaceted eyes, and a gout of green blood splashes out over your dagger. It screeches horribly maimed and wounded and starts thrashing about in pain and agitation. Anything else, Belton?
No, I'm just holding on for the ride of my life right now.
Maliboo's turn.
Maliboo is going to whip his white hair around. The air around him is going to soften, and he's going to use his Raging Glamour. And then he's going to attack with his Morningstar for a 20.
20 hits.
9 bludgeoning damage, plus, once again, fire is going to run down his arm and burn that thing. Ooh, another full damage, 6, so a total of 15 points of damage.
It screeches as another blast of flame from Maliboo's weapon, and smoke is now pouring from the wounded creature's body. Anything else, Maliboo?
That is my turn.
Violet.
I
I can't see it right now.
You're still in the stairwell and down just a little bit because you were last up the stairs, Violet.
Yes. I can move through Ariadne, so I'm going to do that. And that's not double movement because I'm
Correct,
smaller.
you're small.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to duck around the side of Ariadne. I'm going to smush into her space, and I'm going to peek around the corner until I can see this hideous thing. And I'm going to cast Chill Touch on it. So that is a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
Okay, great. So a spectral skeletal hand comes out and latches onto this creature, and it's going to take 1d8 necrotic damage, and it cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn. It takes 7 points of necrotic damage.
So the hand closes over one of its face tentacles, and you see black necrosis spreading from the point where the hand is clinging to it. It's thrashing, trying to dislodge the hand, but the hand persistently clings to it. Anything else, Violet?
All right, that's great. I'm going to move back 5 feet back into the spot I was in.
And finally, Ariadne's turn.
I guess I gotta move in because I can't see anything from where I'm at. There's a lot of people crowded around. So if I try and shoot with my crossbow at this range, would I hit Maliboo? I'm trying to aim above him.
He's not taking up the whole space. You can shoot around Maliboo.
Okay, phew. Okay, so I'm gonna take a shot with my crossbow. So a 14.
A 14 does hit.
Awesome. I got 10 points of piercing damage.
As the thing's head swings back towards Maliboo, you fire into its mouth and you pin it to the back of the chimney. Its body twitches, blood pours down the tunnel that it climbed up, and it tears through the bolt, and you hear the body falling all the way back down the chimney and crashing to the bottom.
Nice.
That ye eldritch
All right.
beastie.
And we are out of combat.
Whew.
Can I get my bolt back? Or is it too covered in goo?
No, it's just a matter of squeamishness. The bolt is sticking in the back wall.
Okay. I'm just gonna pull it out and shake it off. And if anybody else is looking at me weird, I'm just gonna be like, why waste a perfectly good bolt when I could use it to kill another one later?
I don't think anyone in this crew is going to look at you weird.
Nope.
We've done weirder things, trust me.
We have a dead mouse with us.
I would love to search this bug's body for any sort of poison glands or something I could use to...
Maliboo looks down the chimney and goes, it's way down there.
Oh, it fell all the way down.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. Maybe we'll go down there later and I can find it then.
Okay.
Next time, if you think of it, try to grab one of the legs or some sort of spine or something. As it's like shimmying fast down the... Just sort of grab one.
Maliboo shows both of his hands. One has a shield in it and one has a morning star in it. And he just shrugs.
Shall we continue upwards?
I just want to take a look and see this thing over here now that the bug has been dealt with. Take a look at this pile of clothing. You know, it's just weird to have a pile of clothing here. Sort of just prods at it with a knife.
Women's clothing, servants' clothing, pattern of blackened stone around it, Belton, and a lot of it is charred. It looks like somebody set it on fire here.
I wonder if it was the lady who had her baby stolen. And I wonder who the baby is now.
Yes, that's a good question.
Are there any bones in there?
No, just a bunch of clothing in here. There's no bones.
Oh. Why would they burn her clothes?
Maybe some kind of thing to do with shame. I mean, it sounds like a shameful situation has occurred, so maybe they burned her clothes because they didn't want to have anything to do with her.
You think it was a ritual or something?
I don't know humans, man. This is weird.
Does it look like it's set up like a ritual? Or does it look like it's set up like a fire?
Your choice, Maliboo, either intelligence investigation or intelligence religion.
Would that be considered forensics research?
You don't see any signs of remains here, but I want to make sure I know the correct definition of forensics.
Me too.
Okay, so Maliboo rolled a 15 on his investigation.
Okay, so what I'm seeing for forensics, Carrie, is generalist forensic science technicians, sometimes called criminalists or crime scene investigators, collect evidence at the scene of a crime and perform scientific and technical analysis. So I'm going to say that doesn't have to be human remains.
Right.
Right? Okay. So that's fine. You can make your roll and apply
I'm
your...
just going to
Looks
help
like a
out.
crime.
Yeah, I'm going to help out here.
Maybe a crime against fashion.
I only got a 13, so it's not better than Maliboo's.
Maliboo, you do have the feeling like there's something ritualistic about this. It seems personal and deliberate.
What is wrong with
Seems
these
like
people?
someone was angry maybe at the woman for having the baby and then they took her baby. going to pick up the clothes from the charred floor, and he's going to carefully bring them over to the dresser, and he's going to put them in the drawer. He's going to say, sorry, and he's going to shut the drawer. He thinks this is being respectful. He's completely being respectful, not disrespectful.
Maliboo, my heart.
We have to get to the bottom of this. Let's keep going up and see what we find.
I don't like that they took her baby.
I don't either.
Me neither.
All right, let's go up. Belton, go ahead. I'll go first if you want.
I will remind you, just because it's been a minute since this was mentioned, but it actually is pretty obvious looking at them. The stairwell going up to the third floor is like increasingly deteriorated and started to peel away from the wall.
Oh.
Unsafe.
It looks like an OSHA hazard, yeah.
Ooh. Yep.
Do you want to send the mouse up, maybe, to look? Can he do that?
Yes, he can do that. Right, Mort? Yeah. Mort, now I want you to be very careful and stick to the parts that are still attached to the wall or something sturdy, okay? And if something starts to fall, you just jump back down and I'll catch you, okay? Okay. You're my brave zombie mouse. Go!
Maliboo will also he's just going to hold his action ready to catch this mouse if it falls.
You reach up above you onto one of the higher steps, Violet, and place Mort there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mort has some motor issues.
Mm-hmm.
But mice are good climbers. He climbs this vertiginous, peeling stairway. It's almost as if it's frozen in mid-collapse. In fact, part of it has fallen away. The only reason the whole thing hasn't come down is it kind of fell against the opposite wall and it's just sort of braced there. But Mort weighs almost nothing.
Right.
So he's able to pick his way up the ruined staircase and you see he disappears from your sight.
Okay, Mort, just give it a good look around and come back. Come right back. So I'm just going to wait for him to come back.
A few moments pass. Mort comes climbing back down the staircase.
All right, Mort, I want you to shake your head yes if you think there's something interesting up there and it's not too dangerous. And I want you to shake your head no if you think we should definitely not try to go up there.
Mort seems overwhelmed by the way that question is phrased.
Mort, look at me.
Focuses on you with one eye.
Okay, dear. Okay, dear. Ready? If you think we should go up there, nod yes. If you think it's too scary, shake your head no.
He nods and dislodges one of his eyes and then grabs his hands and pushes it back in and then shakes his head.
Wow, that's the most weird thing I have ever seen.
That was non-committal, Mort. That was non-committal.
Violet, maybe you should just make it so that this Mort report is a little bit, a little bit more,
That's incredible.
Focused. Just say, hey, Mort, would you go up there again?
Well, he already did. Here's what Mort thinks. Mort thinks we should go up there, but that it might be dangerous. That's what he's saying. I don't think he sees a way that we can get up there, frankly. I don't know if I do. Do you see a way that we could get up there?
I might be able to get up there. So Maliboo's going to lean, not step on those stairs, but he's going to lean over them and look up. Can he see what looks like a landing, or is it all just ruined stairs?
The stairway is damaged, but it looks like the floor on the third floor is solid.
And he can see that floor, or at least the edge of it.
You can see where it starts, yeah. You're looking at the underside of it, essentially, but it looks like solid stone. The stairway is peeling away from the wall.
But I can also see the ceiling above.
Correct. Yep.
That space.
Correct. Which is essentially the top of the tower.
Right. I can get up there, I think.
How?
Like I did in the fight with the kobolds. Like how I got away from the trolls all those years, so they wouldn't eat me.
That cool BAMF thing where you're one place and then you're another place another second. Oh, yeah. But then how about the rest of us? We can't do that.
Well, I could throw you a rope.
Oh.
Well, that's a great idea.
But I can only do it once a day, so...
Well, I think this is as good an occasion to do it as any.
Okay. Good plan, everyone? Good plan?
Great plan.
Maliboo's going to lean over the staircase going up as far as he can, and he's going to look at the space between where he can see the lip and the ceiling so that he'll be like a couple feet in the air and he'll just drop and he'll land on the platform.
Okay, yeah, I buy that.
Okay, and he's going to use his Twilight Step. It replaces his movement, is all it does, and 1 second he's where he was, and he's gone, and he bamps up there. So he actually walks through the Dreaming.
There is a version of this tower in the Dreaming you find, Maliboo, as soon as you step into it. But instead of stone, In the dreaming, this tower is a huge tree, and there are branches growing off of its trunk on all sides. They look like wooden, knotty arms and hands, and you're able to use those to climb upwards. Thinking of the dimensions of the stairwell at the same time, you climb up the dreaming tree.
And as he does, he looks around a little bit and he goes, Parents? Parents? But by the time he says that twice, he's already there. He's already up top.
And as you surmise, you're about 2 feet off the ground, and you just sort of drop into a crouch on the next level. It's a fairly tight space. Ruined stairwell is to your east now, Maliboo, and there is a tattered, decaying curtain which bisects the room that is immediately to the west of you, Maliboo, as you're on the landing. And then there is a small space just to the south of you that's a little bit shrouded in shadow from your position.
Okay. But I don't see any monsters or enemies from where I'm at.
You do not see any monsters or enemies from where you're at.
I'm up here.
What do you see?
There's a curtain and some shadows. I can't see the whole thing. You want to come up or you want me to look around?
I'd like to come up, yes. Do you have a rope?
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
I used to have a
Gotta be
rope.
kidding me.
How's the curtain? Does it look sturdy enough?
How sturdy does the curtain look?
It's thick brocade. It's rotted in places. This would be maybe an intelligence engineering check, Maliboo.
How far up is he?
He is about 15 feet up.
I mean, we could throw him a rope.
His engineering skill comes out to an 11.
It looks like a thick orange brocade curtain, Maliboo, but parts of it do look rotted.
It smells like mold and it's got holes in it. If only one of us had a rope.
I have 50 feet of rope. Peers up at you. It's here. You didn't take it with you when you bamfed up there.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I'll
Here.
reach down, toss it.
Yep. And I'm just going to throw him one end of the rope.
That's actually going to be an athletics check for you, Belton, only because it's a
Sure.
little bit of an awkward angle,
Yeah, that makes sense.
throwing upward and sideways.
That is a 5. I just...
He's reaching down and the rope falls just short of his hands. Belton, looking past Maliboo, you see a spectral, semi-translucent, glowing purplish figure
Oh my
in a
God.
woman's dress with a skull for a head
Oh
appear
my god.
behind him. Maliboo, you feel a shove from behind. I would like you to make
Oh no!
dexterity saving throw, please, Maliboo.
Can we try to
Can we try
catch
and
him?
catch him?
Yeah, you're
Jeez.
there. Let's see what happens if he falls. I'll allow you to make a check to.
I can see this creature though, right?
You actually can't see Maliboo because it came up behind you.
Dirty 20.
Okay, yes, you roll to the side at the last moments,
All right.
Maliboo, and you have a glimpse of this purplish, spectral, glowing figure in the rich dress of a noblewoman with a luminous purple skull, and then it vanishes.
I bet I know why she's still around. Because
There's
she
a
did something
ghost.
terrible.
There's a ghost lady up here. She tried to push me over. Maliboo gets up and he gets ready in case she comes out again.
Maybe you should come back down.
How do I do that without a rope?
But Mort said that there was something up there that we should see.
Ariadne here. And he hands you the rope.
Okay. What type of check do you want for that?
Strength athletics, please.
That's a 17.
Yes.
Ariadne's aim is true, and she throws the rope up into Maliboo's hands.
Okay, got it.
I'm going to tie a bowline to the bottom so that I can hook my foot in it.
Whoever's on the other end, Maliboo's going to try to pull him up.
Ariadne having anchored the rope securely, and Maliboo, you've got a good grip. I'm not going to require any rolls for you to pull people up. So is it Ariadne you're pulling up first?
Yes.
I wonder if that rich lady was the one who stole the baby.
Or maybe it was her baby. Maybe she's the nice lady.
I don't know. I think it was the rich lady that was mean to her.
Well, why do we think this is the mean lady or not the lady that was?
Well, her dress was rather fancy.
The diary says the lady is out on a hunt. Seems to me, yeah. The name's here on the diary. Eleanor, I assume, is the person who is not the lady. She's the person who is writing this diary.
I don't know, but There's another pile of clothes. Look.
There is another pile of burned clothing in the southeast corner of this room.
Can I just pull this curtain down? Do you guys mind?
Sure, I guess.
Are we all up there?
Yes,
Yeah,
everybody's
Belton's already climbed up.
Okay. All right.
Maliboo's going to yank the curtain down.
Pull the curtain down to reveal a moldering but expensive canopy bed, and the western wall of the room is painted with words in a graffiti scrawl.
Ooh. Keep your whore and her new name and her child then. Your money buys their silence, but by 8 gods my curse will claim your home.
Right.
Ooh.
As you finish reading the words, the spectral figure of the noblewoman appears again in the corner and extends her hand towards you. Unwelcome. My house. Whores and liars. My house. And we are in initiative.
Oh, crap.
God.
I think this is a different person.
I think it's the lady. It's the lady.
That's a 4.
Maliboo rolled a 5.
Belton rolled a 17.
Violet rolled a 10.
Belton has the first move.
Sure. Here we go. Belton is just gonna charge this fucking thing. Oh, that's an 8. Yeah, he is scared shitless and misses completely.
Anything else, Belton?
Nope. I'm just gonna pray to God right now. Excuse me.
Belton, it raises its arms with its elbows bent and palms upturned in front of you, does not touch you, and then just makes a gesture like it is lifting something into the air, and you feel a force pressed against your body, Belton. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Amazing. Yeah. Looks like we're going for a ride. Oh, that's an 11.
You see Belton's body lift into the air and then is thrown violently backwards into the stairwell and then drops down the stairwell. Belton, you're going to take 7 bludgeoning damage as you're slammed into the back wall of the tower, and then you drop 15 feet to the second floor. Not bad. 1 point of bludgeoning damage from that fall. So 8 bludgeoning damage total, Belton, but you are back downstairs.
Well, it could have been a lot worse. That's 16 hit points. But I'm assuming I fall prone.
Yes, yeah, you do land prone on the second floor landing. It is Violet's turn.
She is undead. I am going to cast Chill Touch on her. And I'm going to say, stop throwing my friends! And the spectral hand is going to clamp onto her shoulder, and I will make the attack roll for that. That's a 22 to hit her with that.
Yeah, 22 does hit.
That's 4 points of necrotic damage, and any attack she makes against me until the end of my next turn have disadvantage.
She hisses as the spectral hand clamps around her wrist, but she appears to take no damage from it. It is still clinging there. She seems distracted and angered by it, but it does not injure her, Violet.
Listen, this is new territory. I was dead too, and I didn't behave like this. This is no excuse.
Anything else, Violet?
Nope. I'm going to stay where I am.
Maliboo.
Maliboo's going to step up within 5 feet of it. And when he does, he's going to whip his hair around, and he's once again going to use his glamour rage. I'm better looking than you, and you can't hit me. And he's going to swing his Morning Star at it. A 9.
It just sort of swirls insubstantially for a moment, curling around the Morning Star, which swings wide. It's mine. My bed. My bedroom. My treasure. Mine.
We gotta kill this thing. And that's his turn.
Ariadne.
I'm also going to make my way closer. Hopefully it's a lot harder to throw me towards the stairs this way, and yell out, "As the lady of this house, how dare you hurt an officer of the law?" And I take a swing with one of my swords. 12 to hit.
A 12 does connect with it, Ariadne.
right.
Your sword passes through it and seems to disrupt some of its ethereal substance, like peels some of it off. It did not have the full effect that that blow would have had, Ariadne, had you struck a mortal creature. It seems like the impact is somewhat blunted. So in mechanical terms, it is going to take half damage from that weapon.
So that'll be 3 points of slicing damage. I'm going to take my second swing. That's a 10.
This time it does curl away from you, Ariadne, shrieking as it does so. Sheriff's child, Sheriff's child. The laws here are mine. My laws. My home.
I am upholding any laws that are here. Therefore, you fall under these laws. And that's my turn.
Belton, you are prone on the second level.
Ow! She tossed me! I get up. Did they leave the rope from the second to the third?
Maliboo never anchored it. He was just holding it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Nope.
I just call up. I say, Maliboo! Whoever's up there, if you're still alive, throw me down the rope! I can't climb up there, so I'm totally useless at this point. I can't jump 15 feet straight up in the air. I could ready an action to dash, that if the rope comes down, I will just use all my movement to come up that rope. Yep, that's all I can do.
You're ready to action to climb if you have the opportunity to climb.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is this spectral creature's turn. It plunges one arm toward Ariadne.
I don't like this.
Only an 8. There is a chilling cold as it passes near you, Ariadne, but you do manage to back out of its way.
I would like to counterattack with my reaction. Say 17 to hit.
17 does hit.
That will be 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay, yeah, your sword slices through it again. Eldritch tendrils trail your sword as you slice upward in an arc.
Do I see the rope on the floor?
I'm going to say, knowing our friend Maliboo, there's a 50-50 chance he still has it.
Right.
And a 50-50 chance that once everyone climbed up, he forgot about it and just dropped it on the ground.
Right.
Okay, so I'm literally just going to roll a d4. And if it's a 1 or 2, the rope is lying on the floor. If it's a 3 or 4, Maliboo has it.
Okay.
Maliboo has it.
Maliboo, throw me the rope! Throw me the rope! So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to magic missile this ghost. That's 15 points of force damage to this ghost.
So you fire the 3 missiles. Its head looks up towards you, Violet, and it shrieks and throws up its arms in front of its face as if to guard itself. All 3 missiles smash into it. It gives a horrifying shriek, and it takes the full force of that force damage, Violet, and it seems completely disrupted and then very slowly begins to pull itself back together.
That's very rude to throw a halfling. That's my turn.
Maliboo.
Maliboo does not like this creature, and he doesn't care about the rope, so he's going to swing his Morning Star at it. That's a 16.
16 hits.
6 bludgeoning damage, and fire runs down his arm again, and another 1 point of fire damage.
Much like Ariadne's sword, it does seem to resist your Morning Star, Maliboo, but not the flames. So it will take only 3 bludgeoning, but it does take the full 1 point of fire damage. Anything else, Mel?
Yes, with his bonus action, he is then going to try to bash it with his shield. And he rolled a natural 1 for a 4.
Big shield whiff.
Just take the rope. I'm gonna kill this thing.
Ariadne's turn.
I'm gonna tactically retreat while snagging that rope on my run towards the stairwell. And I know it's half my speed, but it's a small room. I'm gonna toss down the rope, set my weight right, and yell, "Here, Belton, grab the rope. I'll pull you up. Hurry."
Yeah, Belton, that rope flops down in front of your face.
Perfect timing. Belton will climb his whole speed. Now he has 35 feet of speed, so that's half his speed. Round it down, that's 15 feet. So he just climbs up, I guess, straight up as soon as she throws the rope up. My held action.
You find yourself on the landing next to Ariadne.
Yes.
Ha! Nice one! With the hand not holding his dwarven dagger, he gives Ariadne a high five.
Oh, yeah. She so exuberantly gives him a high five back so hard that it stings.
Belton, it is now your actual turn.
Okay then. Belton looks at this creature and he says, "There's only one woman in this whole world that will ever toss me and I'll enjoy it. And it ain't you." And then he flips the dagger over in his hand and he runs screaming and he says, "Here comes the finger!" And then he just jams the dwarven jams the dagger as hard as he can directly into this creature's side. That is a natural 20.
Amazing!
Amazing.
Oh, the magic of D&D.
I can't wait to hear this total.
Here we go. So that is a total of 39 magical piercing damage.
Belton, Freedew, How do you destroy the specter with the Forge God's finger?
Hell yes. The world slows down. The three of you see Belton just launch himself through the air, 300 style. And he grabs onto this dwarven dagger with both hands, his left hand on the pommel, the right hand on the hilt, and just jumps and sees this creature's face turn to him at the last second, and he's just screaming the whole time. And then his eyes balloon in shock as he realizes halfway through the jump what the hell he's just done, and he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! And he closes his eyes, and the dagger sinks into the ethereal mass, and there's all this ectoplasm covering him from head to toe. And as he lands on the floor with a thump, did we win?
So you jump through her in that way, Belton, and her body just sort of explodes like a balloon of ectoplasm, leaving Belton coated in a film of spectral mess.
Yep.
The lady is gone.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're enjoying episode 6 of Podcast Party to Slay a Dragon, presented by Cast Party and Ian Publishing. The show will be back shortly for the second part. For this series, we're using Level Up Advanced 5th Edition to enhance the classic D&D 5e experience. For more info on these cool new rules and enhancements for your 5th Edition games, visit levelup5e.com. You can also purchase this adventure as part of Level Up A5E's awesome new release, To Save a Kingdom, available in both hardcover and PDF formats. If you're a new listener and you're enjoying this adventure, you should also check out Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, as we travel to Hell and hopefully back in a quest to save the stolen city of Elturel from eternal damnation. We have more than 3 years of episodes available now, and new episodes come out right here in this feed. Thanks so much to all of you who helped make Attack on Coppercoil become a gold bestseller on Dungeon Masters Guild. As a result, this adventure will form the second part of a new Cast Party Actual Play podcast series together with Secrets of the Blind Palace. This series will premiere in October 2024 right here in this feed. Aviezer will be the Dungeon Master for that series, and we've been announcing the players each week on Cast Party's social media channels. Returning for that show will be actor, cosplayer, and costume designer Amber Heck, who has been appearing as Ariadne on Podcast Party to Slay a Dragon. This summer, Cast Party returns to the Good Witch in Hastings-on-Hudson, New York on Saturday, July 13th. Join us for an evening of dragon slaying, dungeon delving, treasure hunting adventure. Our professional dungeon masters will lead your party through a tabletop adventure, no previous D&D experience necessary. Your admission includes a 3-hour Dungeons & Dragons experience with a professional dungeon master, a delicious drink and snack courtesy of the Good Witch, plus a few surprises. The Good Witch is located just a short train ride from New York City in the historic Hastings-on-Hudson station on the Metro North Hudson line. If you're planning to attend with a group, we'll make sure that you're seated with friends and family, and if you're a new player or attending alone, don't worry, we'll make sure you're at a table to suit your experience level. Tickets are now on sale at cast-party.com. Cast Party's professional dungeon masters are also available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as for adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition adventures, as well as third-party adventures and even some we've created ourselves. You can find details at cast-party.com. Hey, do you ever feel like you have a great visual picture in your head, but you need a little help with putting it into words? Listen, with a subscription to Describe, you can access thousands of descriptions of monsters, spells, locations, as well as maps, music, and sound effects to enhance your games. Only at Describe.com. That's DSCRYB.com. Hey, would you like 10% off that subscription? Follow the link in the show notes and use the discount code CASTPARTY, all one word, all caps, to save 10% on your first subscription. As always, we're offering monthly free adventures with our Dungeon Masters, and you know what? These free games, they fill up so quickly. So if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. We would love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, on Instagram at Cast_Party, on TikTok at Cast_Party, or on Threads at Cast_Party. Thanks very much for listening, and now, back to our adventure in Holdenshire.
That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Belton. And Maliboo just throws his arms around him.
Incredible, incredible. I wish there was some way I could show you what you just did. It was fantastic.
You're really slimy right now. You're slimy.
Yeah. God. He takes the dagger, he sheathes it.
The lady mentioned treasure. Are you not interested in that? Treasure by the bed?
His eyes light up. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take her treasure. Belton and Maliboo just ransack the bed, probably.
Covered in goo.
There's nothing on the bed, but after a few minutes of searching, you do find something under the bed. There is a scabbard of red reptilian scales lying on top of a small chest.
Is this what I think it is?
Maliboo grabs the scabbard. He kind of forgets about the chest for a second. Whoa, I think this is it.
Yeah, there's definitely something organic and reptilian and massive red scales. 3 scales running down each side, and they curl around. Whatever creature this scabbard was made from was enormous.
Wow, I think this is it.
All right, cool. You hold on to the scabbard, and I'll just take a look and see what's inside this chest.
Okay. And
Cool.
Maliboo goes over to the ladies, and he shows them the scabbard.
Ooh, this is lovely.
Is the chest locked?
You try to open it?
Yeah.
It does not open. It does seem locked. There's a keyhole.
We haven't found a key, unfortunately. So, just for funsies while no one's looking, I take out the dwarven dagger, and I just try to stick it into the
No,
keyhole.
it's way too big. It's way too big.
Just making sure. Just making sure. I mean, it was a key. Failing that, I'm just going to take out my thieves' tools and try to open it.
Yep, dexterity thieves tools.
Total of 15.
15 is target. There's a satisfying click, Belton, and the small chest pops open. There is a ruby the size of a robin's egg lying on top of a small bed of gold coins in their belt. You're an expert gold counter. Do a quick mental calculation, 142 gold pieces in that chest, and you'd value the ruby at about 75.
And I take the ruby and I slip it into my pocket. And then I feel bad for a second or two. I can't do that's just right. And then I take the ruby and I put it back into the chest. Hey guys, got some stuff here.
No.
You may stay where you are, Madam Sheriff.
Ah, indeed.
Yes, the others who are not sheriff may come over and take a look at what I have found. And I just point at the open chest. A lot of good stuff here.
Oh, great.
I mean, we could split it.
We could make a nice donation to the town to rebuild.
Why? Why would we do that?
I mean, with some of it. Whatever would come to me, I'll give away for that. And you can keep yours, that's fine.
Oh, now you're making me feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. We've all had different life experiences and need different things. It doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It's just, that's what I'd like to do. And I think it will end better for everyone that way. And maybe you could get me a little present. Or Mort. You could get Mort a little bow tie. That would be nice.
A bow tie. Damn it. All right. Listen, we found some stuff, Ariadne. I think it's worthwhile you knowing that at the very least we have treasure here to be distributed. I don't know what you would like us to do about it. God, where did I become, morally gray? I should have just been telling.
Well, perhaps it's when you got deputized as you walked in the door of this house. I'll de-deputize you once we're out of here.
Oh.
Does that make you feel better?
I feel fantastic about that. Yes.
Ariadne was not actually listening until she heard Mort's name, at which point she became very interested. She's been thinking about how to construct the perfect little pillow that will fit Mort in a little cup that can attach to a bandolier on your chest.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time, that's been her.
Yeah,
I'm thinking very hard.
Cut of your jib.
We can split up all of the winnings here into
But
4.
one's a gem.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to sell the
Divide it.
gem. We're not going to chop the gem into 4 pieces.
Somebody could just take that, and then the other 2 split the gold. Okay.
I'll keep the gem.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's 71 then.
71. Yep.
Ariadne,
Yes.
here's 70 gold to help to rebuild the town. I'm keeping 1 gold so that I can get Mort a present, because he was very brave to go up those stairs, I thought.
He was, and thank you ever so. This will really help with the burned boats and training a new deputy.
Yes, there was so much fire.
The town needs what it can get, and we're very appreciative. At this point, I'm gonna just start babbling to Violet about this idea that I had about the little pillow in a cup. that could, be securely closed to prevent danger from attacking Mort.
Oh, that's a great idea. I saw a recipe for some vegan leather you make out of mushrooms. I saw it on magical Instagrams, and I can't wait to try it.
Is there anything else you would like to do before returning to Hengistbury from Brockendale Castle?
Yeah, we have the scabbard.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason why we came here in the first place, so...
I do want to find out who the baby was.
My overwhelming sense of curiosity kind of went away when I stabbed a ghost in the face. Maybe we should get the heck out of here, but it's up to you folks.
What about the baby?
I bet we can find out from the family. We could get them to finally tell us now that we know what's happened. Maybe we can ask them.
And Maliboo, we have to find you the perfect plate and cup and have our blacksmith make you a badge.
But somebody took her baby.
No, we're going to take this book and we're going to find out who that baby is. Don't worry.
Okay.
And if the mother yet lives.
Late in the afternoon, as you return to the temple in the heart of Hengistbury, you find that word of your impending adventure has spread. Maiko runs up to you, Belton. He says, Belton, I hear what you're doing. The girls and I, they think it's just great. And listen, just me being your cousin kind of makes me hero adjacent. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, just to show you how much the whole town of Hengistbury is behind you, I got here it's sort of a coupon, writ of purchase, Belton. But let's just say that the Merchants Guild got together and you and your friends 10% off everything. So there you go. He presses a leather-bound scroll case into your hand. Just show that, Belton, because you're probably going to need some gear and some supplies, maybe a couple of those potions or whatever it is that you adventurers drink.
Oh, Maiko, your generosity is an amazing thing. And
oh, believe me, Belton, the gratitude is all on this side of the table.
Do me a favor, would you?
Yeah, anything, Belton. What do you need?
Just keep an eye on those girls of yours, all right? They're very important, I know, to you. Whether you believe it or not, things in the last day or two have made me reassess my priorities.
He puts his hand on his shoulder and he says, I understand, Belton, and you'll always be my favorite cousin, and there'll always be a room for you at the Hen in Philly. It's this big thing you're doing, Belton. It's further than any Freedew has ever traveled. And the girls are each going to keep a little candle lit for you till you come back from Skull Mountain.
Yeah, those last two words.
What's the matter? Skull? You don't like me saying Skull Mountain?
Yeah, it's just like Skull Mountain.
It's just until you get back from Skull Mountain in the Desolation.
Yeah, could you stop, please, with the skulls and the desolation and the death and the whole, yeah.
All right, Belton, I just want to say this one more time. The girls and I can't wait for you to return safely from Skull Mountain.
Stop! Just sort of like puts his fingers to his temple and says, Maiko. And then he opens his eyes and then he looks at Maiko with a look of true warmth. And he sort of smiles, laughs a little bit, and says, hey, what's the worst that could happen, right?
You return to the temple to find Sheriff Torek, Lord and Lady Pemberton, a gathering of local citizens, and a new figure familiar to some of you. Lord Pemberton says, my friends, thank all the gods you've returned safely. We've asked someone to lend their counsel in a matter of such importance. Violet, Belton, I believe you already know Granny Appleseed, our friend from the Weirwood.
Granny Appleseed!
Granny Appleseed smiles at you, and she says, so nice to see you again, dear.
Oh, you too.
Looking so vital and alive.
Yes, well, thank you for your help with that.
It wasn't for me, dear. But nonetheless, I'm glad that things are working out for you. She stares at you, her gaze lingering with curiosity, and she says, it can be a dangerous business crossing that border. There are sometimes tithes to be paid, you know, but seem none the worse for wear. All in one piece, eh?
Yes, I checked.
What's this I hear about slaying dragons?
Well, that's what we're to do now. We would certainly appreciate any advice you could give or insight.
I have been speaking with the Pembertons about exactly that. Lord and Lady Pemberton, perhaps we could clear the hall. Secrets I have to tell are not for all ears. Apologies, everyone. It is a secret council of dragon-slaying adventurers. You know, hush, hush. There's sort of disappointed mutters and moans. And, a couple people from the back of the crowd, nothing that she can tell them that I can't hear. Sheriff Torek says, "Get out!" And they start moving.
That's my die.
Moving more briskly towards the door. Lord Pemberton says, "Well, first of all, if you're going to slay a dragon, you'll need Dragonbane. You have the scabbard?"
Maliboo holds it up. His hands are shaking.
He holds up his sword. It's a double-sided blade made of red-hued iron, and it's engraved with draconic runes. The hilt is made of blackened iron and wrapped with red silver wire, and the pommel is shaped like the head of a red dragon. He says, "It's our family sword. Scabbard, now reunited with it. Complete its magic." He slides it into the scabbard that you are holding.
Wow.
Awesome.
+2.
Damn.
+3
Ooh,
with
plus
against
three.
a dragon. Oh, an extra 3d6 slashing damage against dragons. And when it scores a critical hit against the dragon head on its pommel glows with fury, dealing an extra 3d10 radiant damage.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Additionally, you have advantage on saving throws made to resist the attacks and traits of dragon, including
is
dragon's
great.
breath, roars, and even spells if dragons can cast them.
Nice.
Great.
He says, "Wear it well."
Maliboo takes off his morning star and he hands it to him. Says, "Here, you can use this while I'm gone. Wear it well, I guess."
He says, "Thank you, Maliboo. I will wear it with honor. It is the weapon of a hero."
Wow.
Granny Appleseed says, "Heroes, my friends, need allies. Please, take a seat." She gestures to the pews in the front row of the temple. "I may be able to point you on a path, 3 paths to be precise, where you may find the help that you need in this quest. First, I suggest that you speak with the cowards, the dwarven cowards."
That's unexpected.
Well, that is what they are called. Not a name they deserve, nor one I would give them, but is what they are known by. The dragon's assault on Deep Hall Point slaughtered many of the stout folk, and I have heard rumors as to why. The dwarves were crafting a weapon specifically to slay Cirothe, though they were too late to use it. Those that died in Deep Hall Point are called martyrs by their people. Those that fled have been deemed by their kin as the cowards. And if you can find the cowards, surely they will know more about the unused relic. I was told that the Fedap clan is said to have a map which shows a secret way into Skull Mountain. Belton, the name means something to you, as does the cowards. You're well aware of them. Dwarven cowards are a network of dwarves based in the outlaw town of Last Chance, and many of them are in the business, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, the name Fedap, you recognize. Viswava Fedap is the leader of the cowards in Last Chance. She says, "You'll need the coward's map to find your way safely into Skull Mountain through Deep Hall Point. Then there are the elves. The elves of Greendale Forest were forced out of the Greyfell by Cirothe. They swore to take vengeance. I've heard a risque song or two sung by a half-elf bard from White Hollow. Claims the time for that vengeance is drawing near. You may find allies among the elves of Greendale." And finally, her eyes linger on Maliboo for a moment. "The most dangerous, but perhaps the most powerful path you might pursue. The Mad Queen, the ruler of the Greyfell Forest, the Eladrin Pithsane." The name resonates with you, Maliboo. You know it. There's something within you, it's like striking a bell with a tuning fork. She is unsound in mind. There are those who believe the reason for her madness is that she holds some terrible knowledge of Cirothe. At least it is spoken thus amongst the elves of Greendale. Your path may lead you into the Greyfell. Be well prepared, for that forest has fallen into shadow. It is a dangerous place for mortals and fae alike. Of course, you may follow any or none of these 3 paths on your way to Skull Mountain. I would suggest the cowards first. There is at least a clear road to Last Chance. The other places are more secret and deadly, more dangerous, and you may wish to fortify yourselves before venturing into them. But again, I am merely an old woman from the Weirwood. Such adventures are long past me. We leave it in your hands. We know you are capable."
Thank you so much.
"No, thank you. The dragon is coming, my friends. coming for Holdenshire, coming for Endora. Her minions are already among us. Her touch has already fallen on Hengistbury. We will not be spared if you fail. The desolation will spread beyond its borders. Perhaps the fall has already begun. You must do what you can to halt it, and I must do what I can to aid you, including some of Granny Appleseed's famous pastries. She hands each one of you Granny Appleseed's signature pastries.
Oh, I love these. I love these. I'm so excited.
She says, save them until you need them. You'll know when you do. Now, last chance you'll notice is actually on the other side of the Greyfell, but the road completely circumvents the Greyfell because of the reputation. So she's basically suggesting you go around the Greyfell first to last chance and then decide whether you'd like to enter the forest from the east side. And then further east is the Desolation.
I would hate to go against Granny Appleseed's recommendation. She's pretty smart.
She did mention that of all the three, the Greyfell Forest, which is actually the closest to us as the crow flies, is potentially the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's why she's suggesting last chance.
She's saying we should go around it.
Yeah. Which would bring us through Blackford, up into Ringwood, and then around back down to Last Chance.
She also said that Greyfell Forest, she mentioned the word Eladrin, which you all know Maliboo is.
Yeah. I've kind of not broached the subject since that moment in time.
I think we should definitely go to it, but maybe go to it second.
I think that's a good idea. While the moment is still there, Belton would look over at Maliboo. Maliboo. I don't know if you want to talk about it, because maybe it's a sore subject, but you got anything to tell us about this, I don't want to call her mad, because that's kind of unfair. I haven't met her. But this queen, this Eladrin queen?
The name's, it's familiar, but I don't really remember. My childhood's weird. Also, I'm a Eladrin, so compared to you guys, things are very different with us.
So you just don't remember who this person is?
Well, no, I was very little when I started living with the trolls. I told you that, right? That I live with trolls?
This is news to me, but continue.
Oh, yeah, so I was really little, and I don't remember much before that. I was raised by trolls, and they try to kill me every day, but then they didn't. And I just sort of, I mean, they're not really my parents, but they sort of took care of me, or I took care of them. I don't know. But then I got away, and then I met you. You're much nicer than them.
Hey, so what I'm hearing is that you don't know who this Mad Queen is really at all.
It's familiar. Can I make a history check or something? Or
there's no way that you would know, but there's something instinctive and primal about it. A little bit like the strange familiarity you had when you first encountered Tlingbet's elk, like a sense of common origin.
It was sort of like, you see my ring, and I stick my ring in his face, and it's got that tree on it, and the elk from Tlingbet, she had a medallion on, and it had the same, and I think she was a noble, because that creature called her a noble. Remember that creature we killed? Which is weird that an elk's a noble, but it is Eladrin, so we do things different.
Granny Appleseed says, are you sure creature you're speaking of was addressing the elk, Maliboo?
I mean, I was just a kid. I remember, like, I can speak our language, and I remember that stuff. But I don't really remember before. I was a kid. I couldn't be a noble. That's ridiculous, if that's what you mean.
I see, my child. Well, may you find your answers in the Greyfell before they find you.
I love cryptic responses like that. I really do, Granny.
It's what I do, Belton.
It sounds scary.
She says, there is nothing to fear, my boy. Nothing ever to fear. She taps your hand. It's time I was returning to the Weirwood. She nods to all of you and to Lord and Lady Pemberton. Hope I've lended what feeble aid I could. Lady Pemberton looks at you, Ariadne, and she says, Sheriff, a word, if you please.
Of course.
She leads you over to the stained glass window of the temple where you can see the faces of the 8 gods rendered in colored glass and lead. She says, she was still there.
Yes. Yes, she was. Can you tell me about her?
She was a proud woman, fierce woman, proud of her home, vengeful when it was threatened. She looks at you and runs one hand over the scar on the back of her right hand. He made his choice, and I kept the child. She lives now in Northminster, and we are happy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wonderful for some.
I am so happy that you chose to protect the child. And if I might be so bold, Maliboo over there was quite distressed when we discovered evidence of the child perhaps being stolen. might I tell him that the child is safe and well and living a life full of joy, as I imagine they are?
She says, "You may, but we owe her an apology nonetheless. In bringing my child into the world, in bringing her life, in a way we ruined the life of the lady."
I don't think that it's justified for someone to lurk and haunt and ruin themselves. This was not about you, this was about them.
She says, "You are wise beyond your years, Sheriff Torek. Will you take us there tomorrow? We can try to make what peace we can with her."
I will, but I am afraid that she is gone now.
She shakes her head. "We destroyed her 3 times. She will return."
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
She's real pissed at me.
Well, I suppose we shall. I will forewarn you that she only answered the door when I said that it was the sheriff come a-calling.
She will open it for me.
I will go with you, and although my heart wants to go with our new heroes to save my love, I know that the dragon is coming and we must do all we can, so I will stay.
She says, "It is important to honor the faith of your father."
He is a wise one, my dad. Our town will grow stronger together, and perhaps that child may one day visit. As an aside, though, is there any way you could help me with a few things? I'm going to need a plate and a cup and a badge and a mouse cup holder. I have designs. I'll draw it for you.
She says, "Of course, it shall be done. And you may tell your friend Maliboo, the lost child is quite safe. I think perhaps he knows a thing or two about lost children."
I imagine he might.
"I shall see about your mouse cup."
Thank you. And the plate and the badge and
Yes.
the other cup.
Making a mental list.
Well, I thank you. I thank you for your time and your candor. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do. I am new to this sheriff's role, but I am in a good community.
There is a great deal to do. There is much for us to discuss tomorrow. Belton, once you've explained your intentions without sharing every last detail of your journey with Maiko, he is able to recommend a merchant caravan bound for Last Chance that will be able to transport your party there overland, following the roads.
Cool.
Right.
You're definitely going to spend, another night at the Head in Philly. Yeah, you take another long rest. Maiko and his daughters prepare breakfast for you, and a merchant caravan waits for you in the center of town. Is there anything else you would like to do before setting out from Hengistbury?
Until he's told, Maliboo's going to question, "We have to find out what happened to this child. Can someone help me before we go?"
Yes, Ariadne finds Maliboo and takes a seat and says, "Maliboo, I found the baby. I know the story. The baby is safe. It seems that the
sure?
Pembertons..." Yes, I am sure. And I am sure that one day you will be able to meet the child who has grown up in joy and happiness. The Pembertons chose to leave that castle to protect the baby.
Oh, not to give the baby away. They kept the baby.
They kept the baby, and the baby is safe.
I would like to meet the baby. And tears just stream down his face.
Oh, Ariadne starts crying too.
And as they do, the blue in his eyes just sort of runs away, and his eyes are almost white. He's like, that's great. I'm glad we went there. Really glad. Thank you. And he gives her a big hug.
Oh, I give him a big hug too. Thank you, Maliboo. You are the reason that I was able to think so clearly about my role in our town. And it's because of you that I trust that Talingbet will come home safe. Your heart, take care of it, and we will celebrate when you get home.
And we'll find him, I promise. And we'll save him and bring him back. We're going to kill that stupid dragon.
Can I have had the stuff so I could just give it to him?
Yes.
Okay. And I have a gift for you. It's not wrapped very well, but I hope you'll like it. And I kind of stuff it in front of him.
And he just rips it open and throws the paper all around like a little kid on Christmas, just ripping open a package. And what's in there?
It's a very nice silver plate that I got from the Pembertons, so you could probably see your reflection if you polish it enough. And a matching goblet and a shiny new badge that says that you are a deputy. I pin it on him. You are now an official deputy of Hengistbury.
He stands, sticks out his chest, and his hair kind of flows around him like he's in the wind, even though there is no wind. And he makes a pose. Okay, is there something I'm supposed to say when I'm a deputy? Do I swear an oath or something?
No, you just try to always do the right thing.
Oh, okay.
Even if the right thing is hard, you with your heart go out of your way to protect people. You thought about that baby the entire time, and I'm proud of you, and that is what makes you the perfect deputy.
Okay, I'll do the best job ever, I promise.
I know you will. And I give him another big hug, I hand another package and say, can you give this to Violet for me? It's her mouse cup.
What's a mouse? Nah, I don't care. Okay. He runs over to Violet and he gives her the mouse cup. Oh, here. This is from Ariadne.
Oh, how nice a present.
There's another present too. And he goes into his pack and he pulls out a bag and he opens it up and he's counting something inside and he pulls out a bunch of gems. Here, I'm sorry. And he gives her 50 gold pieces worth of gems.
Why are you giving me this?
I found it and I tried to hide it from you and Belton. I'm going to give him his now. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. Thank you so much. It's very nice.
I'm a deputy now, so I have to do what's right.
Okay, well, I shall keep it and use it in our adventures in a way that will help us all. Thank you so much. I'm going to look at my present now. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Okay. And I open the package, and it's this adorable little mouse pouch cup, and I can sling it around my neck. And he can ride in there, and with his little paws will come up on the edge, and his little face will peek over. And I think he loves it. He feels like very special, like he has a little chariot. And usually he's just tucked away in my robe.
He seems to have a look of slightly more importance about him.
Yes.
When he goes into it. Yeah.
And he deserves that. Oh, Mort, you're so handsome. I'm so proud of you. You're so brave.
Yeah, Belton.
Mhm.
Belton.
What?
Does the mouse look a little creepier now that it's in the little chariot?
I think it's gone from like a 7 to an 8 in terms of creepiness, so congratulations.
Oh,
Oops.
here.
And then I put his tail back on. Versace.
Belton, here, take these gems.
Where did you get these?
Did
Did I miss them in the chest?
Oh no, they were in the cave, but I found them and I hid them from you and I'm sorry. And I'm a deputy, so I can't do that. So here's your cut.
He looks down at the gems and he goes, all right, that's fair. That's fair. I hope that you've learned your lesson. Never hide things from your friends.
Right, I learned. Are you mad?
I could never be mad at you. Anyway,
And you're still going to save my life, right? If I need it?
hey, don't get into a situation where I need to save your life. How does that sound?
Okay, but we might have to fight a dragon. And I hold the sword up.
The entire population of Hengistbury lines the streets as your merchant caravan pulls out of town. The Pembertons, Torex, Albert Wright, Myko, Wendy Wenda, and Gorp. Even Granny Appleseed returns to see you off, and they cheer. Some of them still bandaged from wounds, some of them still missing loved ones who were taken by the kobolds. You know that you're carrying their hope as you take the west road out of Hengistbury towards Last Chance and your destiny. Ariadne, a few days after the friends depart, and a few days after you and Lady Sybil Pemberton return from your expedition to Brockendale Castle, which is a story for another time, Myko Ferris bangs on the door of the sheriff's office where you're still kind of transitioning the things your dad likes to the things that you like as far as what's in and around the office. Brantora keeps checking in, quote unquote, multiple times a day to see how things are going and to let you know how he would handle certain situations. There's a pounding on the door and you open it and look down to see Myko Ferris standing up at you. And he says, Sheriff, Ariadne, Sheriff Torek, Ariadne. He seems more certain.
Yes, that's me.
It's a blue tiefling at the head in Philly asking about your friends.
How about you lead the way?
Yeah, okay, come with me. They had a blue tiefling last time. He starts padding across the street towards his inn.
Yes.
And I follow.
He pushes the door open. Yeah, but this time there's 2 blue tieflings. There are indeed 2 tieflings in the common room of the inn. It is morning. The inn is very quiet. There's no one there except Myko's 3 daughters. There is a female tiefling in multicolored, almost harlequin costume. She has her legs up on a wooden table in the center of the inn and her hood pulled back, purple skin, different shade of purple hair, slightly glowing yellow eyes. And there is a second tiefling, powerfully built male tiefling standing by the bar, and he is lightly bouncing Gorp, like holding her in 2 hands, and kind of throwing her up in the air and catching her. Gorp lands in his arms, and his big hands kind of close around Gorp as he turns to look at you as you enter. The woman says, "Oh, Sheriff, sorry to disturb you. I could have visited myself, Micah, but that's so kind of you to run and get her. You really are quite a little gentleman." She boops Micah on the nose. She says, "Oh, what a charming young sheriff you are, my dear." She takes her feet off the table. Apologies. Puts her elbows on the table and then kind of cradles her chin on her knitted fingers in front of her.
"Oh, what can I do you for?" And I take a seat across from her.
She says, "Of course. Right down to business. She's so professional, isn't she, Oleander?" "Yeah, professional. Yes. Forgive me. This is my brother, Oleander. My name is Arsenic. We're looking for someone." She passes a parchment to you.
I take a look at the parchment, and I also want to... I do an insight check, because I don't want to send her after anybody if it's bad news.
Yep.
My 18 that I rolled.
Her smile is a little too wide and does not touch her glowing yellow eyes at all. She holds her fingers on the top of the parchment, and you see a charcoal sketch of Maliboo's face on it. And she says, "We're looking for a lost boy."
I school my features and give a nice, not swarmy, but just like a smile back. Like, I see you. I see who you are. But also, like, not in my town. I'm afraid they passed through and I didn't really chat much with them, but I believe that they were heading towards, Fogmore.
"Do you hear that, Oleander? She says our lost boy is headed for Fogmore." Oleander says, "Well, never can tell where he might go next." He keeps throwing Gorp up and down, a little higher this time. Gorp comes within 2 inches of a ceiling beam, and he says, "He's wandering around aimless like. He's very dangerous. In fact, he swirls his index finger next to his forehead. Funny."
I couldn't say they weren't here long enough.
She says, "Well, of course. We appreciate your help, Sheriff. We're great admirers of law and order, aren't we, Oleander?" She rises to her feet. "I'm so sorry to have missed them."
Well, you're only a few days behind, so if you hurry, you might catch them.
"Oh, I'm sure we'll catch up. My brother and I are quite fast when we need to be. Meantime, should they double back and return unexpectedly, please leave a message here with the innkeeper, Micah. We've become very good friends, and I'm sure he'll find a way to get a message to me." Micah says, yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
"Gorp, why don't you, I think it's time to get the laundry from outside." Oleander stops tossing Gorp up in the air and holds her for a moment, dangling her feet above the ground, and then lowers her, but doesn't quite lower her all the way down, and then just drops her when she's about 6 inches from the ground. She immediately runs away from him.
I hate him.
And he says, "Clean clothes, hygiene, very important for children." And Arsenic says, yes, it's important to take good care of children. Wouldn't want them getting lost, like our lost boy. You can keep that, my dear, so you'll remember his face, and don't get confused next time." She leaves the parchment on the table.
If he doubles back, I'll see what I can do.
She says, "Oh, just one more thing. Have you ever seen a blue tiefling before?"
I'm afraid I haven't.
"Ah, of course. I understand we're quite rare. Almost unique. Come along, Oleander. Lots of miles between here and Fogmore. We'd best get going." And they walk out the front door of the Hen and Philly. Micah says, "That's fucked up. Those are fucked up people." He says, "It was excessively friendly in a way I found sinister."
If they come back, they'll find that prices are much higher.
You hear from the back of the inn, Micah says, "Now what the fuck?" He kind of walks up to you, but no closer to it than you. He just walks so he's like level with you and slightly behind you and peers around from behind your thigh toward the back door. Something's outside.
I'll go check. Just tarry a moment. I'll call if I need anything. And I confidently go, just prepared to pull out my sword.
You step out there, and there are 2 elk at a hitching post at the back of the inn, and the tieflings are mounting them. Each of them has a brass plaque dangling from its barding that depicts a castle surrounded by willow trees.
No!
Uh-oh.
Ah, some interesting and powerful steeds.
She says, yes. We're also missing one of our elk.
Another stray, I'm afraid.
We haven't seen anything that fabulous.
Oh, I'm sure you'd remember it if you did. Not very many people riding elk these days.
Not in our small town.
In fact, there's only one stable that breeds them, and it's our family's. So anyone who took one, well, they'd owe us for that mount.
Understood. I truly haven't seen one. But again, your message system works, I'll let you know.
Her smile fades. She just sort of looks at you blankly for a moment, and then both of them on the elks bolt down the street, heading west out of Hengistbury.
Are they heading towards Fogmore?
They don't cross the river to go south, which they would need to do if they were heading into Fogmore. They disappear over the horizon towards Thornbury. That night, passing high above the Greyfell Forest, over the willow trees, with the looming maw of Deepcrest Chasm ahead, through the cooling air as it changes from summer into fall, are a team of 16 leather-winged kobolds, each wearing harnesses. And attached to each harness is a long rope. And at the end of that rope is a fishing boat from the town of Hengistbury, suspended between the 16 flapping kobolds.
Oh my god.
Shivering in the cold sky above Greyfell is a bound and gagged Tlingbet and a group of scared human children clustered around him as they glide across the sky towards Skull Mountain. Belton and Violet and Maliboo, you are all now level 4.
Yay!
Thanks for listening. This episode was dungeon mastered by Tal Aviezer with Andy Cannistra as Maliboo, Carolyn Fox as Violet, me, Matt Gordon, as Belton Freedew, and actor, cosplayer, and custom costume designer Amber Heck as Ariadne Torek. You can follow Amber on Instagram at sunblade_cosplay. This episode was edited by Tal Aviezer and Carolyn Fox. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review.